Thanks for locking in with 77 Flavors of Chicago. We're your hosts, Dario.
And I'm Sarah, and I hope you're ready to learn with us.
Today, we are talking about the old post office. Fun fact, did you know that the original design of the old post office did not have the little hole so that Ida B. Wells, a.k.a. the old the old Congress Parkway
Could go through.
Could go through. Did you know that? That old plans did not.
I did know that.
Yeah, no.
But I know things.
Yeah,
so.
right. We know things now. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Good to hear. Good to hear.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I'm particularly excited for this week in real time. Not this
Why?
week of the episode. Because our other podcast drops this
my
week.
God.
Hey.
That
God
was
damn, Lord have mercy.
so loud.
Shit, y'all. I forgot.
Jesus Christ.
My bad. I forgot the 50% that bad boy. Damn. Ooh. If you mad, I get it. If you mad about that.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. So sorry.
Our producer.
You know what? I could probably fix that in post.
Yeah, fix it.
So,
Fix it. Because I would be pissed as fuck if I'm 8 a.m. going to work.
just screaming in your ear. Man.
In my ear.
Hey, at least your ass woke now. Shit. You woke him.
But turn it down. For
It's
sure.
already turned down.
No, I mean like post.
Oh, yeah. I'll get it in post.
I know we're so excited. If you have not heard, if you don't follow us on Instagram and you have skipped every outro of this episode or this podcast in the last 3 weeks, we have a new podcast dropping Thursday, February 1st.
Hey.
And it is titled Traveling While POC. If you are not a POC and you don't know what that means,
Person
or you're
color.
living under a rock, it
Yeah.
does not mean point of contact. It means person of color.
Oh, goodness. If you thought that, then, hey, just go ahead and cut this off, man.
Which is fine. No, but like corporate. Who's the POC?
Right.
Me.
PLC. We all raise our hand.
But I'm not the point of contact anyway. Yeah, so it just means person of color because, Dario's black, I'm brown. We couldn't have gone with like traveling while brown or traveling while black and not
real.
been inclusive of the other person.
Right.
So
You know what's crazy? What if this is your first time hearing that? This whole time. Now, you can tell I'm black.
how?
I mean, sometimes you catch a boy slipping on here.
You've said the N-word numerous times. Well, you've edited it out.
Right,
That's
edited.
true,
nobody has heard
Well,
that.
the first 2 episodes you did not edit it out.
I did not.
Those episodes don't exist anymore.
They don't exist. So if you was rocking with us at the beginning, you heard your boy flying.
Because we thought only our friends would be listening.
Man, for real, I was talking like we was the homies. I mean, we homies now. Not me and you, but the people.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, we off to a fire start. What was the best part of your week?
What was the best part of my week? I got to see a friend of mine that I haven't seen in a while. We went to, I dragged her along to, people are sick of hearing about my crochet class. I also finished a beanie. So
Oh, yeah.
if you follow my personal Instagram page, you would have seen my beanie.
That beanie fire, y'all.
Thanks so much.
Soon as she saw it, the only thing I said, what I say, I need one. I need one. Give me that. Yeah, and like in black.
Yeah.
I won't mind in black. Because y'all, I lost
Is it
my
because you're black?
Yeah, I'm trying to be Black Panther. I'm trying to act like not the hero, the real life hero. No, y'all, I lost my beanie.
You didn't lose it. You forgot it.
I did. Well, that's a loss.
I guess
That's a loss.
But lost means unintentionally. Oh, well,
It wasn't intentional. I was.
You weren't like, fuck this beanie.
Yeah,
Wow.
for real, man. Your boy, we was at staycation.
Yeah, we had a little staycation happening.
Yeah, we was on the South Loop, and yes, it was.
And we were
fun.
leaving in the morning, and Dario left his beanie.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when you leave in the house making that walk. What's the walk of shame?
Facts. Except you fell asleep on the couch at like 9:30 after eating 3 slices of deep dish pizza.
That's how you know it was good. Hey, boing.
So shout out to Williams Inn because that's where we ate. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll see the reel will come up this week. But we stayed at this little staycation thing. It's basically an Airbnb, if I'm being honest.
Right.
And
it was good.
It was on Motor Row, and so we had to stop by Williams Inn again. If you remember our Motor Row episode, that's where we ate. And it was delicious again.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, that shit don't miss.
It was so good.
It honestly don't miss. Like it was packed in there though because Marquette was in the building. Hey, we are Marquette. We are, yeah.
I don't think you should sing that if you didn't graduate from there.
Wow, damn. Hold on. Wow. Ooh, that hurt. Damn, this is like a week in a row. My feelings been hurt.
What was last week?
I can't even remember. It hurt though. Shit hurt. I did not graduate.
Oh, we were talking about going to the grocery store.
Oh, that's right.
And that you ruined the experience.
Or was that the episode that's not seen?
Oh.
We did a secret episode. You gonna hear it again, but it's definitely not gonna be the same.
Yeah.
But then we did do it though. Damn, we recorded a secret episode and these people don't even know.
Well, now they know.
Yeah, now I feel bad now. It was lit though.
I hate when people do that. They're like, we have a secret project. We can't tell. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Just tell me when it comes out.
Who the fuck you think you are?
You know?
You ain't shit.
That's what I think to myself every time. I'm like, oh my God, you guys were so excited. We have this, like, shut the fuck up.
I like how we kind of be bullies a little bit. And then
to ourselves?
Yeah.
I think it's called self-hatred.
No. Then we go into being history nerds.
Yeah. Well, speaking of history nerds,
let's get it. Damn, I am not.
Oh, how was your week?
It was good.
I don't think I asked you.
No. It was. Thank you for that.
Wow.
Thank you. Get that and this.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
but no, that was good. I mean, honestly, I've been getting to my photography again. Starting of the year, you know what I mean. I've been hitting y'all with some fire now.
Yeah, the fire pictures.
Yes, fire. I've been going crazy, and I know it. You know how I know it is because I've been posting them.
Yeah.
Because whenever I'm like, you know, and how I know is I wanted to go out there. I was in the fog, y'all. I was out here.
It was very foggy.
Very foggy. I went out in the rain to take pictures. It rained. Y'all know that song?
No.
La, la, la.
Stop. It's gonna be stuck in my head all day.
Yeah, and we gonna get flagged.
For real.
But no, it was.
I'm glad you're getting back into your photography.
Yeah, for real. Because
you're very good.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Y'all, you can book Dario for photography.
You can. Yeah. I pull up. I ain't telling you no history facts. If I go to
No, that's false. You do throw history.
I really do.
You're like, did you know this building? Blah, blah,
I
blah,
did tell a dude on the last job. Actually, that was this week. I told a dude on the job he was from Atlanta, and he was like, "Man, this place is cool. What's to do around here?" I was like, "Well, you can look out this window right here, and there, that's the site of the old original skyscraper in the world, first skyscraper in the world." He was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And across the street is where they made the time zones. You know, like he was like, "Oh wow." I could tell he was like, "Man, Atlanta got we lit out there." So I'm like, "Tell me some facts, then."
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, you ready to get into the history? I am horrible at getting these. I wanted to do a drink thing, y'all. Like where I had do
you want to pause and go get a drink?
No, I don't want to pause it because I don't feel like getting up. I don't like breaking rhythm. Like you know when black people be in rhythm, we don't like throwing that shit off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then you got to start over.
No, you just pick up where you dropped off. Stopped off.
Drop. Stop. Pick up where you stopped. No off.
Pick up where you
left off. There it is.
Left off. There it is. You said no off. Where you stop.
Yeah. Hey,
I don't think that's the saying.
Anyway, y'all, how often do you think about the old post office, y'all? Do you think about it often?
Not often enough.
Damn. Me either, actually.
Here's the thing. I thought it was not where it was.
Where did you think it was?
Farther.
Farther where? More.
I thought it was on the other side of the river than where it is, and I thought there was nothing around it.
Oh, really?
Like it was like, you know that Tribune building that's really far? It just says Chicago Tribune on it.
Right across from Montgomery Ward.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I thought it was like similar to that, but on the other side, like out closer to the lake.
Got you. Okay.
That end of the river.
So I guess you didn't know that whenever we used to go underneath the building, you know what I mean? Off Congress.
Correct.
That was part of it.
Correct.
Got you. That makes sense. A lot of people. That's a fun fact, y'all.
I had never been to it before we recorded this episode.
Yeah. Well, y'all, let's. You know what? Let's get into it because this pretty. It's pretty dope. So let's talk about the old post office. If you've never been there, it's downtown Chicago, and it was Chicago's main post office for a while, for a little bit. The original building was built in 1921. And I say original because a few years later, 11 to be exact, it was expanded.
Yep.
To add 9 floors.
Yeah, it added I think it was either a total or it was more than 60 acres of floor space.
Yeah,
which is wild.
That is actually. Do y'all know how big an acre is?
I don't know visually, but I know it's large.
Ain't like 8 city blocks, something like that? I think that's what an acre is.
You know what would be very
Google?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna do that. But the building was it added also, along with those 60 acres, 2.5 million square feet.
Crazy.
That's a lot of square feet.
It's a lot of square feet. I know what a square foot is.
Yeah, me too. An acre? I don't know. You know what? We will look up with a.
I'll tell you a little bit of while you look stuff up. So we did say that there was a hole reserved at its base for the Congress Parkway extension to run through it. The post office was the largest in the U.S. at the time, and it processed millions of pieces of mail, and in 1932 it was the largest in the U.S. It opened to the public in 1932, and it was dedicated in 1933. The dedication was actually really fancy. So there was a band. There was that's it.
Okay. All right.
Well,
all right.
I was gonna say 2,000 people attended the dedication, which is kind of crazy because like, who are these people that are attending a dedication of a post office? You know what I mean? Like, if our local post office was like, "Hey, we're having a party," I'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah, I got some news. Speaking of which, the fun fact about the mail, 19 million pieces of mail. Yeah. At its peak is what it was doing.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. In one day, daily, y'all. Like,
yeah.
Not over a year. We're talking daily.
Crazy.
And that's in part to the boom here in Chicago, which was the Montgomery Ward and Sears little rivalry that they had. The catalog sales were just going nuts, y'all.
Nuts.
I got an answer on how big an acre is visually. Okay. So if you want it by the feet, it is roughly 660 feet by 66 feet. So way off from 8 city blocks. I don't know where the hell I got that from.
I don't know.
But it is equivalent to about 90% of a football field.
Oh, okay.
So a football field is about 110 yards. About 120 yards from back of the end zone, from one end zone to the other end zone. So 90% of that will probably be from like the back of one end zone to the 0 yard line.
No,
the goal line. No. Because maybe the 10 yard line.
I don't know.
Who gives a damn, y'all? 90% of a football field, you make it up in your head.
Yeah.
Also,
today when the young men are running around a ball, just look at the field.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And you see them chasing this little ball.
Yeah, for real. 16 tennis courts or 9 basketball courts. That's
pretty large.
It's pretty
large.
That's
hefty.
Yeah, that is hefty. 90% of a football field. Damn. That's pretty big. Anyway, so yeah, the post office.
60 of them.
What's that?
60 acres worth of floors.
60 acres.
Floor space.
That's nuts. So you had that many football fields inside one damn building. If you look at it, that thing is large.
It is large.
It is a big building.
It's almost, people are going to come at me. I'm not going to say this, actually. I changed my mind.
It's very big.
She's dumb.
Yeah, no. It's large.
I was going to say it's giving Mart vibes, but.
Right, yeah, Mart is bigger, right?
I know it is. Because it had its own zip code.
Yeah, for real. Mart is ridiculous. Also, this one went up. This was like large
right.
up.
Yeah. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
It was large up.
You know.
Okay, relax.
So let's continue because all right, that's honestly not to be throwing no shade at the post office. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's about all it was. And we've been real about all that it was. Like, if you want some stats, that was it. There's some other fun facts.
Yeah, I have a couple facts of things that happened around that time period.
Yeah.
So when the space opened, I need to stop hitting this cord. My God, there was a statue in there that was called Figure of the Republic, and it was in the main hall that also had the marble and the gold, which is the marble and the gold are still there. So if you go and you visit that grand hall, is that what it's called? It's called the
Great Hall.
Great Hall.
The Great Hall.
And it was the Public Works Art Project created this figure for the main concourse of the building. So when you go in, that's the first thing that you see. There's also in the stone up. If you look up, there's depictions of the different ways that mail can be transported. So there's train, airplane, Pony Express, stuff like that.
Pony Express, which is I think the oldest way mail used to get
probably.
Yeah, because it's horse.
Yeah. It is actually where the Pacific Air Mail happened in 1935. So I believe the way their website said when I was doing a bit of research that is where, the archives of the Tribune said that is where the first airmail thing took place. And then there was a thing called Airmail Week, which is kind of crazy.
So what that mean? You took a week to get your mail? Or it was just...
I think it's just like a celebration.
All that week, your mail was buying. You have motherfuckers standing outside just, trying to catch their shit out there.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. No, it's not that. The Tribune has a ton of archives. So if you look up like the first post office Tribune archives, there's a ton of pictures that you can look at.
Yes, they are. Matter of fact, my bad to interrupt, but like some of the, if you watch that video, I posted some of those pictures in the episode.
It's really cool. It was a 50 by 50 foot spot on the roof where the pilot would land and launch from there. And one other cool thing is in 1944, while that post office was functioning, was the first and only female mail carrier. Her name was Janet Lee. She was 22. She was from South Shore and a widow, and she had a 3-year-old. And for the year of 1944, she was the first and only mail carrier
in the world. I mean, in the U.S.
I believe in Chicago.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a random thing to know. Like fun fact.
Actually, I got that from the Tribune archive.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, there's a picture of her sitting in a mail car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty dope. Okay. Well, now that's the old history of the main office.
I do just last one. Okay, so do you know how they got mail from the first floor to the 9th floor?
How?
There was a conveyor belt. It was $100,000. It cost $100,000, and it took 20 minutes for your mail to go from the base.
Let me find out my shit still sitting on the conveyor belt
from the bottom to the 9th floor. Had it gone through an elevator, it would be 5 minutes. But can you imagine? It takes 5 minutes to go up 9 floors in an elevator. I would have a panic attack.
Because you had a little man up in there just pulling.
Just lever.
Up and down. Yeah, lever. He's sitting there talking about, damn, how much mail you got today?
But yeah, the conveyor belt was revolutionary.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. So,
that's all I got.
The conveyor belt, that had something to do with Henry Ford.
Oh, right.
Yes, remember? Yeah. Fun fact there. You're welcome. Anyway,
which he got from the Union Stockyards.
From the
disassembly line.
Hey, look, right.
So just to give you a bit more feedback on that, if you haven't listened to our Union Stockyards episode, you absolutely should. We had Professor Pasiga on there, and he is like the man when it comes to the stockyards. And he was saying that Ford came and visited the plant.
It was like, yo.
And he saw the disassembly line, which is the line where they broke down the hog. And he took that idea and used it to then create his assembly line at Ford.
You're welcome.
So that also came from Chicago.
Well, hey,
isn't that crazy?
No, it's not. Because, it's like we've been at the forefront of all this shit.
I know.
Literally, behind the scenes doing something. You know what I mean? Like some
cooking.
Yeah, right. Just
constantly.
Imagine if Chicago was a person in the boardroom in the office meeting.
My God, they'd be exhausted.
They giving ideas out of Chicago, come out to be like, hey, listen, check this out. How about we just go way up in the sky with these buildings?
Way up in the sky.
Just think about it. But what if they tip over? They ain't gonna tip over.
They're not gonna tip over.
They ain't gonna tip over. Just build it right. Anyway,
just build it right.
Let's talk about what's going on now, right? So, that was in the 40s and the 50s, and it shut down. The old post office shut down 96.
96.
Okay, so it went all the way to 96. Now, from 96 to realistically, like 2019, there was that thing sat dormant, y'all. Nothing happening with the building. They basically left it the way it was. I got some pictures inside the video. You should go check it out. It's wild of how they just left what this post office was. Like pieces of mail were just sitting there. I'm looking at this like, damn.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, for real. Imagine.
And the reason they left it was because they wanted something that was more technologically advanced.
Yep.
So they didn't want to kind of haul this whole building. So they just moved to a new more modern building.
Right. So here's a breakdown.
Wild.
Yeah, just wild. Here's a breakdown. 2011, right? There were plans, get this, for Chicago. And if you are from Chicago, you probably remember this because we was rooting. We was like, let's go. Chicago was going to build in that site the tallest building in the U.S., taller than the Sears Tower, 2,000 feet. Yeah, 2,000 feet. About 500 plus feet taller than the Sears Tower. With
or without the antenna?
Without the antenna. Without the antenna. Well, don't get me started on that because we got the tallest building in the United States. We have the tallest building in the United States, but because our antennas were added later and the antennas were built onto the One World Trade Center, they are officially the tallest building.
Wow.
But the way I always look at it, why would they do that? If I stand on where I can stand, the highest part you can stand on, I'm taller than anybody else in the whole country if I stand on the Sears Tower. But
that's
because
crazy.
you
mean Willis?
Not, yeah. Yeah. So 2011, 2014, that's going on because this building is dormant and there has to be something. There was a guy by the name of Bill Davies who was kind of spearheading a project to make this happen, right? To build a building and the building complex. It's going to be like some residential. It's going to be some office building, but like a little complex place in the area, along with the tallest building in the U.S. This was a $3.5 billion plan, y'all.
Wow.
If you are in Chicago around that time, you kind of remember this thing going on, right? You remember, and the more I talk about this, I remember the next part I'm going to say. So I remember when they were like, yo, we going to knock this thing down or what we going to do? So he put up the money. They were going to break this thing down over 3 phases to kind of get the funding and the money and work this thing out. Phase 1, he had $500 million contributed to it. The plan costs $450. He looking for other investors, right? It's not moving fast enough. He can't do it. Decades going by now.
Wow.
Like time is going by. You know what I mean? Like where, hey, what we gonna do? The then mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel, stepped in right around 2016 and said, hey, little Bill, what you gonna do with this?
Yeah.
Are you gonna get this thing done? Or am I gonna have to take this? The city gonna take this by eminent domain? Which again, y'all, if y'all know eminent domain, it's just not the prettiest thing, but that's what he was gonna do. And so while Bill was going through trying to get the funders, he was already talking to these New York investors who own the Prudential Building and other pretty historic landmark buildings here in Chicago, talking to them to kind of get something finalized. Well, pressure is mounting. Him and Rahm Emanuel trying to go back and forth. We going with the city and what they're gonna do to get this money. He's trying to sell it so he can kind of offload this since it didn't go through.
Yeah. He
sold it right the day before he died.
That's wild.
He sold it and he died. Now, if you look at the news is kind of like, well, he sold it, after the day after it was official, he died. They're saying, I was looking at something, I think it was kind of some controversy that, was he already dead? Or was this deal done? Not was he already dead, but like, was the deal actually done and then he died? Because it's like now we can't talk to the man that was doing this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like his estate could have his back and be like, hey man, it was done, but it really wasn't. So, before the city could take it back. Long story short, obviously it's still here. So the deal was done. But ain't that crazy?
That is wild.
Dude died the day after the sale was completed to save the building, basically.
Wow.
And so the new investors, what they did was they start renovating it. And so this is the second part of what's going on. That's where 2016 and beyond kind of goes. The renovations are happening, and it was kind of a slow start because it is a massive building.
Yeah.
And to fill it to do what? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
what are you going to do now that you got the money? What are you going to do with this?
Yep.
So the new investors working through it, they started to renovate the inside of it, but then also started looking for tenants.
Right.
And that's a hard thing to do, to fill a space, you know what I mean? Like to get somebody to pay that much to be
and
like,
it's
hey,
not done yet.
And it's not done. And you don't really have a plan.
Yeah.
Long story short, 2019 came around, and guess who became the largest tenant in the building?
Who?
Uber. Uber signed a 10-year lease in 2019 that started in 2020 to become the largest tenant, and they take up now of the 2.5 million square feet.
Wow.
They take up 463,000 of those square feet.
Wow.
That's huge. And they signed a 10-year lease. Again, started in 2020. So if everything is going right, this is year 4.
Yeah.
If you listen in 2024, this is what's going on here. So
crazy.
And now they got several other tenants.
Yeah.
Walgreens is in
so
there.
It goes in terms of square footage. Uber has 461.5 thousand square feet.
And they gave up a couple thousand.
Walgreens has 202.6 thousand square feet.
Mm-hmm.
PepsiCo has 192.9 thousand square feet. CBOE has
Chicago Board of Exchange.
Yep, has 185.7 thousand. Cisco 134.3 thousand.
Really, Cisco?
Mm-hmm.
The man, look, I'm about to pull up there and give me a router.
A router?
Yeah, a router. There you go. Hey, that's a dope breakdown.
Yeah.
I like that. Who the tenants are. But yeah, pretty dope. And so they also now
I'm sure there's more. Those are just the top 5.
Right. Yeah, those are the ones that pay the most.
Yep, correct.
So they get listed. But there's the food court in there, office space in there. They got
there's a bar, that has a happy hour. When we filmed the video, we got there a little bit later in the day, closer to like 5 o'clock. So all the food was closed, but I'm sure they're open during the day for the people that work there, and then they close. But the bar was open, so I'm sure after work you can come down and have a drink.
Yeah.
Walgreens is right there. It's huge, so you can but there's also space for you to just sit and hang out,
just chill. It's beautiful in there.
It's really, really pretty.
Honestly, it's a dope kick it spot.
Yeah, and they do host events. So like if you have an event and you need a space, they have spaces for rental down there. So
marriage. You mean like
correct.
wedding and all that stuff? I mean, like just so that you can get an idea of the type of events you could do. Mm-hmm. You know what I was thinking? If you are going to take a bus down there, just have patience because what is that? Is Clark? Is it Clark right there? Or Van Buren?
One of the streets was closed.
Yeah, Van Buren. Yeah, it's closed. So like you can't go there. The bus had to reroute, and it's kind of a mess down there. It's man, look, we was all kind of down bad, but. Go check it out, y'all.
It's really cool.
And honestly, it is really cool. It almost feel like it's a bit out of the loop.
I don't think it fell out of the loop. I think it's a very busy area.
No, it is. It definitely is not out of the loop, but it just because of the construction, and it is on the you have to cross over the river to kind of get to. So anytime for me, I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself. Whenever I feel like I cross that river, I'm out. Now, you know what I mean?
Really?
It feel like that sometimes. Like, and it's a certain part of downtown, I should say, because like you could cross the river by Wolf Point,
right?
And you still feel like you're in a thing. But at the same time, now if you cross the river going on the northern part of Michigan Avenue, it feel like a different. It don't feel like a businessy part.
Yeah,
it feel like
artsy.
Rich artsy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, the only place I feel like I'm out of the loop is River West.
Yeah, that feel like a whole damn.
That's the only area that feels kind of like a neighborhood. Streeterville a little bit, but Streeterville is tiny.
It's tiny is just old people.
Yeah.
That's what that feels like.
Old rich people.
Yeah, for real. Just feel like.
Other than that, Old Town. Once you're like near that area,
you're out there.
You're out for sure. But
once you get past, once you get on Lakeshore Drive on the north end, you out. Yeah, it's you out of downtown. To me, that's just that's just me. Anyway, well, that's all. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for listening today. If you enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and send it to someone you like. That is the best way to support us, is to share our content and get us more listeners. And if you did not enjoy this episode, try again next week, y'all. I'm trying to be nice. Okay. We're going on week 4 of me trying to be, I'm trying to be polite. Okay.
That's it.
That is all.
Be nice. That's all. Y'all, we're gonna let this ride out for a little bit, but then we also gonna play the trailer for you
for next week's new podcast.
Well,
this week.
Yeah, that's right. For this week's podcast. Until next time, we'll see you Thursday.
I'm I'm Sarah.
And I'm Dario.
And you might know us from the podcast 77 Flavors of Chicago.
It's the podcast where we traveled all over Chicago's 77 community areas, gave you places to eat, and told you some dope history.
And as much as we loved exploring Chicago, we wanted to travel the world.
So starting February 1st, we have a brand new podcast called Traveling While POC.
And in each episode, we'll visit a new destination,
bring you tips, share itineraries,
and tell you our wildest stories
as we travel while POC.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and we hope you loved it.
And if you could, please follow us on social media at 77 Flavors Shy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter.
If you have any ideas or deep dives that you'd love us to do, please contact us at media@77flavorsshy. That's the number 77 flavors and shy for Chicago.com.
If you like visuals, please subscribe and follow and watch us on our YouTube channel at the same thing, 77 Flavors Shy, or search 77 Flavors of Chicago.
If you would like to support us monetarily, go ahead and click that Buzzsprout link in the description of this episode.
And as always, we gonna see you next week. Peace.